Biography of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20, 1889, in Braunau am Inn, a small town in Austria-Hungary near the German border. His father, Alois Hitler, was a stern and ambitious customs official, while his mother, Clara Pleziel, was gentle and deeply religious. Hitler was the fourth of 6 children, but only he and his sister Paula survived into adulthood. From a young age, Hitler exhibited a strong will and a rebellious nature. He clashed frequently with his father, who wanted him to pursue a career in civil service. Hitler, however, dreamed of becoming an artist. He was particularly drawn to architecture and painting, spending hours sketching buildings and landscapes. In 1907, Hitler applied to the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna, but was rejected. He tried again the following year, and was rejected once more. These failures devastated him and marked the beginning of a period of aimlessness and poverty. He lived in flophouses and shelters, surviving on a small inheritance and selling postcards of his artwork. Hitler's years in Vienna were formative. Though he failed to gain admission to art school, he immersed himself in the city's political and cultural life. Vienna was a melting pot of ethnicities and ideologies, and Hitler absorbed many of the prejudices and conspiracies circulating at the time. He became increasingly anti-Semitic, influenced by the writings of nationalist and racist thinkers like Georg von Schnierer and Karl Lueger. He also developed a deep hatred for Marxism and liberal democracy, which he saw as threats to German unity and strength. During this period, Hitler began to see history through a racial lens. He believed that the Aryan race was superior and that Jews were responsible for Germany's decline. These ideas would later form the core of Nazi ideology. In 1913, Hitler moved to Munich, Germany, seeking a fresh start. When World War broke out in 1914, he volunteered for the Bavarian army and served as a messenger on the Western Front. He was wounded twice and awarded the Iron Cross for bravery. The war was a transformative experience for Hitler. He found purpose and camaraderie in the military and viewed the conflict as a noble struggle for Germany's survival. The defeat in 1918 shattered him. He believed that Germany had been betrayed from within by Jews, communists, and corrupt politicians. This belief in the stab in the back myth became central to Hitler's worldview. He saw the Treaty of Versailles, which imposed harsh penalties on Germany, as a humiliation and a conspiracy against the German people. After the war, Hitler returned to Munich and joined the German Workers' Party, a small nationalist group. His oratorical skills quickly elevated him within the party, which he soon transformed into the National Socialist German Workers' Party (NSDAP), or Nazi Party. Hitler adopted the swastika as the party symbol and created a paramilitary wing, the SA Sturmabteilung, to intimidate opponents. He preached a message of national revival, racial purity, and revenge against the Treaty of Versailles. In 1923, Hitler attempted a coup known as the Beer Hall Putsch in Munich. The uprising failed, and Hitler was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison. He served only 9 months, during which he wrote Mein Kampf, My Struggle, outlining his ideology and vision for Germany. After his release, Hitler focused on rebuilding the Nazi Party. He shifted tactics from violent revolution to legal political maneuvering. The economic turmoil of the Great Depression and widespread dissatisfaction with the Weimar Republic created fertile ground for his message. By 1932, the Nazis were the largest party in the Reichstag. In January 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. He quickly consolidated power, using the Reichstag fire as a pretext to suspend civil liberties and arrest political opponents. The Enabling Act of March 1933 gave Hitler dictatorial powers. He banned other political parties, dissolved trade unions, and established a totalitarian regime. The SS Schutzstaffel replaced the SA as Hitler's elite force, and the Gestapo enforced loyalty through terror. Hitler's regime sought to control every aspect of German life. Education, media, and culture were all subordinated to Nazi ideology. Propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels orchestrated a massive campaign to glorify Hitler and demonize Jews and communists. the Nuremberg Laws of 1935 institutionalized racial discrimination, stripping Jews of citizenship and banning intermarriage between Jews and non-Jews. Jews were increasingly marginalized, forced out of professions, and subjected to violence. Hitler pursued aggressive rearmament and expansion. In 1936, Germany remilitarized the Rhineland. In 1938, it annexed Austria-Anschluss and the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia. Western powers, hoping to avoid war, pursued a policy of appeasement. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. Britain and France declared war, marking the start of World War II. Hitler's blitzkrieg tactics led to rapid victories in Poland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, and France. In 1940, Hitler signed the Tripartite Pact with Italy and Japan, forming the Axis powers. He launched air raids against Britain, but failed to achieve victory in the Battle of Britain. In June 1941, Hitler invaded the Soviet Union in Operation Barbarossa. Initially successful, the campaign stalled in the harsh Russian winter. The invasion opened a brutal Eastern Front and marked a turning point in the war. The Holocaust remains Hitler's most horrific legacy. Under his leadership, the Nazis implemented the final solution plan to exterminate Europe's Jews. 6 million Jews were murdered in concentration camps, ghettos, and mass shootings. Other groups targeted included Roma, disabled individuals, Slavs, homosexuals, and political dissidents. The Nazis used gas chambers, forced labor, starvation, and medical experiments to carry out their genocide. The scale and brutality of the Holocaust shocked the world and remained a defining symbol of human cruelty. As the war dragged on, Germany began to suffer defeats. The Battle of Stalingrad in 1943 was a catastrophic loss. Allied forces advanced from the west, while the Soviets pushed from the east. Hitler became increasingly isolated and erratic. He refused to allow retreats and blamed his generals for failures. In July 1944, a group of officers attempted to assassinate him with a bomb, but he survived. By April 1945, Soviet troops had encircled Berlin. Hitler retreated to his bunker beneath the Reich Chancellery. On April 30, he committed suicide alongside Eva Braun. Germany surrendered days later. Hitler's legacy is one of destruction, genocide, and war. His regime caused the deaths of tens of millions and reshaped global politics. The Nuremberg trials held Nazi leaders accountable, and the world vowed never again. Historians continued to study Hitler's psychology, motivations, and the societal conditions that enabled his rise. His life serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of extremism, propaganda, and unchecked power. Germany has since confronted its past through education, memorials, and legal accountability. The Holocaust is taught worldwide as a reminder of the consequences of hatred and authoritarianism.